My feelings on this book are very complicated, so good luck to all of you watching. Hey guys, it's Savannah. Hope you liked the new intro. I paid someone somewhere on Fiverr to do that, so we love aesthetic, you know. Okay, so today we're doing a rant review. Is that surprising? I've been getting a lot of views on my last one for Again But Better, and I thought that was kind of interesting. And for me, it's just not, when I like a book, I don't have that much to say, except I like this, you should read it. But when I don't like a book, there's a whole other level of fury of I spent my money, I spent my time, and you betrayed me? How dare you? And so this is just another book on that stack. I have a stack of books that I do not like, that I still own. I still own these books I don't like, and I will talk about them eventually. But anyway, so we're going to talk about The Fault in Our Stars, which, it's been a minute, okay? This book came out a while ago. The song, Boom Clap, that we all kept hearing on the radio when this movie was coming out, it's been a minute. I'm aware that I'm late, a few years late, I'm aware, okay? But for the reading rush, the book thing, what's it called? Readathon. For the readathon, I had to read this book. This is what I read for the, you had to read a book and then watch the movie adaptation. Movie was fine. It's whatever. I don't like the book, so it's hard to like the movie. You know, also I've been on a journey to read all of John Green's book, but today we're just going to talk about this book, and let me tell you, I'm really disappointed, and for me it's harder to be disappointed than to be upset, because there are some books, like Every Last Word by Tamara Stone, I will throw hands, okay, that book made me mad. This was just disappointing. It's blue, my shirt's blue because I'm sad. Because this book, I want it to be better, but it wasn't. So, after that long, boring introduction, let's get into what this book is about. So, you probably know, it's about two people, two teenagers. One of them, I need to point out, is 18. One of them is not 18, so, under 18, so that's illegal. John Green, I'm just saying, okay, it's not that big of a deal, because they're close in age, but seriously. Anyway, Augustus Waters, I think, and, wait, what was the main character's name? Hazel, and they both have cancer, and they fall in love, and yeah, that's it. If you don't, you probably already know what happens. I'm going to go into spoilers right now. Okay. So, Augustus dies. In the end, right? We saw that coming. You know, one of them was going to die, or both. I thought both were going to die, but, whatever. Okay. So, one of my main gripes, I'm going to get into, the tea right now, and then go into, boring things I didn't like later. I didn't like that the dad was always crying. Now, is it okay for men to cry? Obviously, yes. There's a stigma about, guys crying for some people. I don't have that. But the thing is I think John Green was aware. He was aware that there's a stigma around men crying. So at every possible point in this book, where he could say that the dad was crying, he took it, he ran with it. the dad cried, like, there were so many sentences where it's like, my dad cried. Was the mom crying? No. Like, the dad was always crying, but the mom is the stoic person. I'm like, okay, I would think both parents would be crying, not just one all the time. So that felt really forced and weird. You can really hear John Green's like personality in this book, like the little stab at American culture that he does like on his YouTube channel, you know. It was something about breakfast food, like he was talking about how I think eggs are confined to being a breakfast food in American society. Like, it's true, but it's not. Like, you can make eggs whenever the frick you want, you know. I have egg whites in my fridge right now, and I can cook it at midnight. It doesn't matter. But, you know, society. We blame society. Okay? Then, let's see. The whole premise of this book, like, most of this book takes place, like, they have to go somewhere. And I've noticed this with John Green, where they have to go somewhere because there's something boring about staying in the same spot. So they go on this trip to, I don't even remember where, it was outside of the country, to meet this author that Hazel's obsessed with, because the book that she read by this author ended on a cliffhanger. And so Augustus uses his wish, because you know how from like the Genie Foundation, where like they sponsor kids with cancer. I don't know that much about it. I understand like the main thing is that since Augustus has cancer, this foundation said, hey, we'll sponsor one thing that you really want to do. And Hazel spent it on Disneyland before she had some kind of miracle cure, and she survived, you know, or Disney World, whatever. And Augustus hadn't spent his wish. So he's like, hey, I love you, and I want to take you out of the country to meet this author so you can find out the ending of the book. Now, they get there, author's a jerk. It goes really bad when they meet him. He didn't really know they were meeting together, like his secretary planned it and stuff, and he's an alcoholic, like all this stuff, and it was boring. Like, I'm gonna be real, this book to me I'm finding that with John Green, like, I like his writing is solid, but his characters and the plot are boring. I understand that he's not like a plot person, because Turtles, there's no plot. There's no plot to that book. Don't try and convince me otherwise. It's about the characters and the writing. And that's totally fine. That's what I liked about Turtles. And I think in Paper Towns, it was so, like, plot focused when that's not what he's good at. I'm sorry, John Green, you're not good at plots. You're good at character development. And that's okay. Because I like reading character-centered stories. That's why I keep picking up your books, because I'm hoping for another freaking gem and it's not working out. The writing for me is what keeps me going through a lot of his books. But the characters, we have another I'm not like other girls' character, and I don't want to be insensitive because she has cancer, so obviously in that sense, she's not like other girls, because most girls don't have to deal with having cancer at this young of an age, right? Right, okay? But, however, I feel like that's her whole personality. Like, even in the book and in the movie, they acknowledge that she comes home, watches TV, and reads books. And they make sure to let you know that she reads books. Another trend I see in Green's books. The main character loves books. Okay? What's her whole that's her whole personality. And I feel like that's kind of mean to like say all of your personality is your sickness, and the fact that this plot point to go see the author is that you like books, you know, and you like this one book called An Imperial Affliction, and it's like, girl, boy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, there could have been so much more to Hazel, and there just wasn't. She didn't have any interest, and I understand that, like, well, I know I don't understand. But, like, having cancer, you know, that definitely takes up a lot of your energy and a lot of your time. But, I mean, she was reading books. Like, she didn't go on YouTube, like, or have any social medias, I don't think. If she did, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, she just didn't seem like she was, like, interacting with the world. And she didn't want to. But, like, I don't know. I just felt like her character was boring. Augustus, he was trying so hard to be that quirky girl that, like, comes in the first day of school with, like, 5 necklaces on. That's Augustus Waters, okay? He's the quirky girl, okay? He just needs to let you know that he's quirky because, you know, he read a book in 2 days and he's in love with a girl that he just met. Oh, did I mention there's insta-love? I mean, we love having insta-love where you just instantly fall in love with people because that's how the real world works, you know? You just see someone, you're like, damn, they're hot, and then you're together. Or damn, they got this haircut like my ex. She's a keeper, and I'm not even joking. Like, Augustus was like, you have a haircut like this one actress or something. And then they went to his house, like, right that day and saw the movie. And it's like, boy, there's no development with this relationship. And I just don't understand what the deal is. And also, when they were out of the country and the mom just let them do whatever, that was unrealistic. First of all, if your kid has cancer, you don't just let them roam around a foreign country with some guy that's older than her. Like, you don't do that. And, like, she seems like a good mom, okay? I don't understand. Like, I just don't get it. And I feel like Green, in a lot of his books, he seems to paint adults as, like, people who have lost their childhood sense of adventure and perspective. And it's kind of weird that he's an adult, kind of bashing other adults. But that's a different thing for another day. But that bothered me, that was unrealistic. And I just don't understand the hype, like a lot of things. I just don't. I'm disappointed. I watched the movie. Movie was fine. I liked it just as much as the book because I didn't like the book. And there's just so many things that bother me about this. And it's like, whether it's the dad, like, at every turn crying, or it's the unrealistic parenting, or just, like, that the characters, I think, fell flat, and that there was a really forced sense that they were not like other girls, and they weren't like other people. And I've read, if you saw my last book review on The Strange Fascinations of Noah Hypnotic, like, we just got over this. If you're not like other girls, I bet you're a lot like other girls, just saying. Because let me tell you one thing. Lots of people like to read books. If they're reading this book, they probably like reading to an extent, okay? Alright? And you don't need to shove this I'm not like other girls' agenda for people to relate to your books or to feel like that your character is special. Because let me tell you something. Your characters aren't special. These people fell flat. And I feel really insensitive saying that because they have cancer. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is that they were boring characters. And I felt like most of their personality was built on their terminal illness. And I felt like that was not cool. I didn't like that. That bothers me that was their main personality. And I totally understand that takes up a large part of your life. Like, I had an uncle who had pancreatic cancer, and let me tell you, it took up all of his life. Was he gonna be reading a book? No. Like, his life was consumed in just trying to stay alive, alright? And I get that, but, I mean, when you write a book, I mean, they have interests. Like, my uncle, he was a person with interests, and he would talk about his interests. Like, he was into math, and he would talk about math all the time. He bought me, like, books about math. Like, he was really into it. And that was just one thing. He loved Greek mythology. Like, there's aspects of people beyond just what their physical state is. You know, just because someone's gonna die, or is fearful of dying, or has this really awful condition that they have, like cancer, you know, something that's gonna probably kill them, they still have a personality. And I feel like John Green, like, what were you doing here? Like, there's no personality with your characters, you know? And I felt like that was really hard for me to read. And I really wanted to like this book, and it fell flat. So, another book by John Green has been read. Another disappointment, another 2 stars. I think I gave Paper Towns 3 or 2. I don't remember. It bored me to death. This was boring. Turtles was a 5-star. So I got a 5-star. I got 2 stars. And now I'm reading An Abundance of Catherines. Not liking it. Probably going to be 2 stars. So, great. My summer reading is great. I will see all of you later. Okay, thank you all for watching. I've done way too many thumbs up. I love all of you. Have a very nice day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.